What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Yeah, man, it's the end of the year. So this episode is me Q&Aing with a dozen or so people, dope movie fans, friends, and we're sharing our top 5 movies of the year. Rapid fire the top 5, pick one to highlight, and that's it. And then I spit a little something. What y'all want, man? Y'all want the y'all want the most recent Blu-ray releases right quick? Cause y'all know 2 weeks ago, Nightmare Alley and Spider-Man No Way Home came out. This past Wednesday, The Matrix Resurrections, Sing 2, and The King's Man came out. A Journal for Jordan, American Underdog, Licorice Pizza came out Christmas Day. So, and then before the next episode, the 355 will come out, which should have came out last year, but it should have came out this year, so I misspoke. But it's coming out in 2022. I'm actually kind of excited for it. Recently on the home physical media circuits, we got some Dead Air. No, I'm just playing. The Mitchells vs. the Machines came out. Venom, Let There Be Carnage came out. The Last Duel came out. The Card Counter, that was a blind buy. And then this past Tuesday, The Many Saints of Newark and No Time to Die came out. Man, some like straight to video Bruce Willis crap came out. This upcoming Tuesday, The French Dispatch comes out. That looks to be about it. And January, what's the first Tuesday in January? The 4th. It looks like Antlers is coming out. And that looks to be about it. Let me hit y'all with the Twitter poll questions, because I'm gonna forget that shit if I don't think about it and do it right now. I dropped the Spider-Man poll question. I said before seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, because I think I technically posted it after I saw it or after it came out. Which was your favorite Spider-Man movie? I used the first. All my choices were the first movie in every series: Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Into the Spider-Verse. As far as percentages, Spider-Verse 1 was 70%. Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire got 20%. The Amazing Spider-Man got 10%. Nothing for Homecoming. That's straight hate. But there was 2 votes for Spider-Man 2. 3 votes for Spider-Man 2. After, I did a Keanu Reeves. Which is your favorite Keanu Reeves action movie franchise? My choices were Point Break, Speed, The Matrix, and John Wick. And The Matrix wins this with 31.3%. Speed and John Wick both had 25%. Y'all sleeping on Point Break. That shit had. I voted for I think I voted for John Wick. On my personal, you know what I'm saying? I be using my personal Twitter to vote on podcasts, poll questions. I outed myself. Well, Point Break got 18.8%. Point Break is fire. Y'all just too young. And then in honor of Sing 2, cause Sing 2 is amazing. I said before Sing 2 officially releases, what's your favorite Illumination release? My choices were Despicable Me, The Secret Life of Pets, Sing, and The Grinch. And I encourage y'all to comment if your favorite isn't one of my selections. But Sing wins this, 37.5%. Despicable Me got 31.3%. I think that was my vote. Secret Life of Pets got 25%, and then The Grinch got 6.3%. During Christmas season, The Grinch got the least amount of votes. Y'all wild out here, man. I come back. I'm I'm trying to run a tight ship so this podcast doesn't end up like 4 hours long. And so far it's worked for what I recorded at the time that I'm recording this intro. But now I'm gonna send y'all off, and you're gonna meet everybody and learn what they loved this year and which one that they really like wanted to talk about, man. And I'll come back with them bars, man. It's Rec League. All right, starting us off, 2021 favorite movies of the year. I got some new blood, and what I like to do with new people on the show, whoever wants to take charge, introduce yourself, plug your show, the social medias, recent episodes, however you want to do it.
Ladies first. I appreciate the chivalry. So I am Meg the Geek. I am one half of the podcast called Defend the Movie with my co-host Lex. Basically every week we pick a movie. One of us defends a movie against the other that hates it. No movie's off limits, whether it's Oscar nominee or Oscar winner, B-rated. We battle it out on anything. We just had a bunch of holiday shows, and we're taking a little break till the end of the year, but next year, we're coming back strong.
That's right.
Nice.
Social medias right now, Twitter, Instagram, at Defend the Movie. We just launched a YouTube page where some movies are going to be coming out, or some videos, I should say, are going to be coming out. And, yeah, I think that's all we got for now. Right, Lex?
Yeah, that's really it. I'm the Undercover Geek. I am the co-host of the Defend the Movie podcast. I never win. You know, I'm just gonna say.
You have won at least
I never
once.
win. I won like one time. So
We're
trying to make progress. All right, we're trying to make progress. I used to have a podcast that I used to do about sports. I don't really. I kind of went away from that, and I talked to Meg, and we were like, listen, let's do a podcast. Why don't we do it about movies? So I just that's how I started getting into it, and it's been fun. You know, like I said, I don't really win that much, but it's a pleasure. It really is a pleasure. I have a really fun time doing it.
We just like to yell at each other.
That's right.
Do you guys have like your top 5 as a show, or do you have individual top 5s?
You know what, for our YouTube, they were individual, but some of them lined up together, and I think that's kind of what's happening with this one, except since we recorded our YouTube video, our lists have changed a lot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, since you let me go first this time, I'll let you go first.
5 to 1.
5.
Rapid fire.
Here we go. So, this year, Free Guy. I'll start with Free Guy. Ryan Reynolds, my guy. You know, is probably top 5 actors for me. Deadpool's. I love him as Deadpool. So that, and then the whole Chris Evans thing in the movie. It's. I'm a nerd, so I was a big fan of that. Honestly, I see a lot of mixed reactions on this next one. I like Red Notice. It's with Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds also. So, and it's like one of those things where you have to like pay attention to it, and it's really cool, and I love watching. I watched it with my family, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually a really good movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, my third one is the new Venom movie that came out, the Venom Let There Be Carnage. I actually was one of those who kind of liked the first Venom movie, so I was like, you know what, maybe it's gonna be really good the second time, and I thought it was better than the first one. I thought it was a pretty good movie. So, the Zack Snyder one is not number 1, number 2. Here's the reason why it's number 2 is because it should have been the actual movie that came out, but it came out, and I'm really happy it did, and I thought it was a really, really good fix. They fixed the DCU.
Most definitely.
And number 1, there's no other way to say it. This new Spider-Man No Way Home movie. I mean, what else is there to say? I can't do any spoilers or anything, but my God, Spider-Man is my second favorite superhero ever. And watching this movie, I was like, satisfaction is the word of the day for me. It was really good.
For sure.
Meg?
All right. So I like the way you put that with Spider-Man. But my number 5 is the same as yours with Free Guy. I just love that, like, I'm a huge gamer. I love that they took the video game atmosphere and threw it into the real world. and basically everything that Lex said, so I don't need to jump on that anymore. Number 4, Halloween Kills. Now, I admit, Real Housewives are my guilty pleasure, so I love that Kyle Richards came back for this, and she's even going to get a bigger role for Halloween Ends, so I'm super excited for that. Number 3, not the most popular choice, but The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Jessica Chastain, she could do no wrong, and she actually almost like permanently damaged her skin, almost, with all the shit she had to do. Number 1 and number 2 are super close. Number 2, I gotta go with Spider-Man No Way Home. Obviously no spoilers. I laughed, I cried, I cheered. It was everything you ever wanted for a Spider-Man movie. The hype level was Endgame level, and it was just chef's kiss. But number 1, my most anticipated movie of the year, and rightfully so, Black Widow. Black Widow is my second favorite superhero. We've waited, 11 years for this?
Yeah.
And she should have gotten the movie years and years ago, but that's an argument for another day. I'm just so happy she finally got it. And, 2 words, Florence Pugh. Enough said.
All right, nice. I appreciate you guys doing some, cross podcast interaction. I'm gonna move it to the next person. Bring you guys back for the next episode for the most anticipated for 2022.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Next up, I got my guy Alex, aka Titan AE. He used to be my inside man, but he's not my inside man no more. But he's still a friend of the show. Like, the employment status didn't get you like rec league invitation. But 5-1, man. What's your 5 favorite movies of the year? Rapid fire.
5-1. All right, we got Venom: Let There Be Carnage, Mortal Kombat, Suicide Squad, Godzilla vs. Kong, and then Spider-Man: No Way Home.
All right, man. Whichever one you want to talk about, it don't even necessarily have to be on your list, man. What movie of this year do you want to highlight and talk about? Like, why? Like, whatever you feeling about it.
Well, tough one because it was between 1 and 2. All right. I'm probably gonna go with Godzilla vs. Kong.
All right.
I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be talking about Spider-Man: No Way Home, so we'll cut that some slack. That's all over the internet right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much everything I have to say about that movie, everyone's already talked about out there. Godzilla vs. Kong was honestly probably the one I chose because it's something that I grew up with as a kid. It was my very first cassette that I ever owned.
Okay.
So when I was younger, of course, I never thought ever in my life I would see 2 icons, going at it, head to head, toe to toe, tail to fist.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that any time in the future, the present time, that there would be a remake with good sales too, thankfully, because I know the legendary Godzilla has been kind of getting some mixed feelings from all people around the world. But personally, I think it was perfect. No complaints towards the first one back in 2014. No complaints over King of the Monsters. And of course, I have no complaints for this one either, for Godzilla vs. Kong. I think they're all perfect in their own way. If you grew up watching the originals, people would understand.
Cool. I appreciate you joining in with us, man. And we're going to move it on to the next Q&A.
Yes, sir.
All right, children. Got another one of the regulars. Maybe by the way I arranged this, you're the first regular to pop up. I don't have my list like in eyesight. But it's Nick, Richmond, Virginia's own. Yeah. 5-1, your favorite movies of 2021. Go ahead.
All right. Well, my honorable mention. I'm just kidding.
Hey, man.
I'm just kidding. Honorable mention is No Time to Die. I will say it just squeaked by, but it didn't crack the 5. Top 5. Number 5, I've got The Night House. That was my most surprising movie. Number 4, The French Dispatch. Love Wes Anderson. Number 3 was Belfast. It snuck up on me. It surprised me. It was really good. Almost a 4.5. I got two 4.5s for the entire year. My top two. Number 2, West Side Story, Steven Spielberg musical. And number 1, Spider-Man. I mean, fuck. What else would it be? It was Spider-Man.
Right, yeah. Which one of those, it doesn't necessarily have to be your number one. Which one of those do you want to expand upon and talk about why you like it so much?
Spider-Man, right? Like, no, I want to talk about Belfast. Like, no. It's just, it was, I was really concerned, like, going to December. I was like, I've only given 4s this year. Like, nothing has cracked the 4.5. So it's like, it kind of feels weird for, it's like the superhero movie cracked the 4.5, but like,
it just does.
It was like one of the, like, the only movie, like, I saw a couple movies this year twice, mostly like Marvel stuff, but it's like, that was like the first movie this year I was like, dude, I have to go see that a second. Like, I have to go see that with people that haven't seen it and like do it again. Like, I was like, it was great. Like, there's just no tiptoeing around it. It's supposed to be doing an Oscar Best Picture. It won't do like a big push, but I'd say go for it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Somebody go for it.
Why not? Yeah.
It's great. Like, you know, it's like I watched The West Side Story. Like, I cried. I watched like Spider-Man, the movie about the superhero for children, and I was like, you know, lumpy throated and stuff. Like, it had everything. Like, it just worked. It was great. Best movie I've seen this year. There are a lot of movies that I still want to see. A lot of like Oscar-y type stuff that are coming out like January. So it's not set in stone. It never is until like Oscar. But
at the end of the calendar, this is it. Yeah, man.
Like, for now.
You're a regular, man. You know how this game goes. We're gonna bring you back. Hit the most anticipated. All right, next up, we got my guy returning to the show. Probably of everybody that's ever been on this show, the dude who geographically lives closest to me. Awesome Joe, man. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, man. You and your family, man. I hope you got having a good season. So 2021, 5-1, man. What's your 5 favorite movies of 2021?
Well, I would like to go ahead and start off with number 5 with Free Guy. And I think that a lot of people really did enjoy this movie.
Rodo. Rapid fire, 5-1.
Okay, all right. 5 was Free Guy. Number 4 is Godzilla vs. Kong. Number 3 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And number 2 is going to be Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay, wow.
And last place is Halloween Kills.
Okay, nice.
Number 1.
Threw a curveball of 2021. Like, I'm gonna, like, the plan going in was pick one of the 5 of your list, but whatever movie that you want to highlight over the year, man, take a little time and talk about that.
Okay. Well, there are a few that really caught my attention, like Shang-Chi. I'm going to go ahead and go with Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Shang-Chi is the one that I found really interesting. One that I really thought that I wasn't going to like because nobody was very familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was going to have the same experience that I had. This is what happened with me with Doctor Strange, the first movie. And I didn't find that movie as fascinating as I would have loved it to be. But then I love the character now today because his use of his character, giving it more meaning and more depth, you get to understand more about who he is and what he's all about. But that movie in particularly, it didn't really catch me to say, oh, this is the best MCU movie ever. But yet now I enjoy the character very much and very excited for Multiverse of Madness.
For sure.
But going back to Shang-Chi, not having to knowing who the character is, never reading the comic books, not really knowing what I'm walking myself into, but having to watching this movie very blindedly and leaving the theater, I was just fascinated by the whole thing. I couldn't believe what I watched. And I really would have loved to have added it to the list. But unfortunately, I loved 5 in particular others. But
Yeah.
Shang-Chi would have at least made the top 10 list. And very excited to get into seeing what they're going to be using with the character and what the story's going to extend itself towards next. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, Shang-Chi would be the movie that I personally liked a lot throughout this entire 2021 year on the top 10 list. So that would be it.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate you joining in, and we see you in a couple weeks. All right, next up, I invited my wife to join in with us. She be watching movies too, but she camera shy, so we gonna make it work. So 5-1 rapid fire. What were your 5 favorite movies of 2021?
Like backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Red Notice, Mitchell's Machine, King Richard's, Fatherhood, and The Quiet Place too.
Which one of those do you want to like talk about a little more as to why you liked it so much?
Even though it was my number 3, I would probably say King Richard's.
Well, what did you like about it?
I like that everything that he said over his daughters came to be. I think that's biblical. Well, I know that's biblical. Everyone thought he was crazy, but he was just he knew what was going to happen because he was just so willing to work for it and have them work for it and just speak positive stuff into their lives, and it happened exactly that way. So I think that one.
That's dope. Yeah, I love that movie too. Thank you for participating. We're gonna do most anticipated on the next episode. All right, next up, we got my brother, one of my brothers. Y'all know I had to get family up in this. Ain't seen him since July for y'all this podcast regulars. Old man Lawrence, emphasis on old because that's what we was talking about. 5-1, man. Your 5 favorite movies of 2021, man. Hit it.
Are they supposed to be ranked?
Are they supposed to be what? You broke up. Super froze.
Am I supposed to go in like a ranked order?
Yeah, 5-1.
All right, so I'm gonna go Justice League as number 5. The Zack Snyder cut. I don't know if that counts or is an asterisk next to it or not.
Yeah, for sure. Now streaming releases count.
All right, cool. Then I'm gonna go Malignant at 4. No Time to Die at 3. I'm gonna go Old at 2. And I'm gonna go Dune at number 1.
Okay, that's what's up. Got some different titles in there from what I've heard so far today. Which one do you want to expand upon why you liked it so much?
Man, I'm gonna go with Malignant. I had no idea what that was going into it. I mean, I kind of knew it was like a horror, scary movie. And to keep it spoiler free or whatever, it wasn't really a horror or a scary movie. It was just like the story was different from anything I've ever seen in a movie before. And this is kind of a spoiler, but the ending of it, not that it was like some awesome M. Night Shyamalan, like you didn't see it coming from a mile away. It's just like so unexpected, and it just like I got up out of my seat and I was just like, that is some of the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a film before. So I thought it was really well shot. I thought the actress in it did a really good job. The main actress, she was phenomenal in it, in my opinion. I thought it was totally original, and something that was unexpected and a pleasant surprise that I was not expecting at all.
Man, I forget the actress in it. Like I know the actress that's in it, and I forgot her name off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean off wax. Like how I arrange the clips, Sigmund will be after you, but off wax, he was trying to sell me on it while I still haven't watched it too. Like, y'all two have been trying to sell me on Malignant since September.
Yeah, man, it's really good. I'm telling you, it was one of those nights where I'm just laying in bed, HBO Max, trying to find something to watch, and I clicked on Malignant for whatever reason. And I honestly didn't think I was going to finish it, laying in bed trying to watch a quote-unquote scary movie, but it sucked me in, man. It was, like I said, it was completely original. I haven't seen anything like that before.
James Wan, man. James Wan be getting it. All right, next, the way I got it arranged, Jason is after you. So let's move on to him. All right, next up, got my older brother, Jason, older man Lawrence. I haven't decided on a hardcore nickname. Yeah, your favorite movies of 2021, man. Rapid fire from 5-1. Go ahead.
Oh, in order? All right. So caveat, I haven't watched The Matrix yet. So that would probably be, I would guess, but 5-1. Okay, I didn't think about it in ranking. So we'll say 5. I'm gonna put Dune there. 4, Judas and the Black Messiah. 3, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife. And 1, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Nice. It doesn't have to be your top, whichever one you want to expand on. Honestly, whatever movie you want to talk about, highlight throughout the year, go ahead.
Yeah. I think, not knowing obviously what everybody else has said, I think Ghostbusters was the one that I was kind of the most excited to go see, just because, I mean, the last one with the all-female cast was good, but we knew it was different.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting all right, they're finally doing it. And the original guys are coming back, which they've been talking about doing it for 10 or 15 years, it feels like. So you had to think, all right, that means there was finally the right script, finally the right story for those guys that want to do it. And then to go in and see it and just have them really pick it up in a way that made sense and was good. The kids they cast were really, really good. I don't want to do spoilers just in case, but the CGI on how they, did some things was really well done. And it was just, it was a little, I guess, some of the critics were like, oh, it was all fan service. It's like, well, of course there's a little bit of fan service. It's the friggin' Ghostbusters.
Right.
They're not going for Oscar for
been
Best Picture here.
22 years, man. What you expect?
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought they did really good. I thought the kids were funny. Paul Rudd was really, really good. I like the tie-ins to the original kind of Big Bad or whatever. So yeah, that was just really exciting to see a movie, just kind of lay out here's what we want to do. I could just kind of see the list of things they wanted to do, and then they just went down the list and checked all the boxes, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I could talk forever about Spider-Man, but I'm sure other people have probably been doing that already for you, so I won't go there. But yeah, Ghostbusters was a lot of fun. I was glad that was good.
Cool. We're gonna move on to the next list, and I'm gonna get you back on for the most anticipated. Oh, it's my turn. So, yeah, y'all like how I just splice myself in. I'm not one of them dudes. I'm not saving mine for last because I'm the host. I'm not putting mine at the very first because I'm the host. I splice mine in with the collective. But enough of that. My 5 favorite from 5 to 1 movies, 2021. At number 5, A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 4, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Number 3, The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Number 2, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Number 1, Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like most people are probably gonna end up talking about Spider-Man. It's the most recent great movie that came out, so it's gonna be fresh in everybody's head. I want to talk about one that my list is probably the only one you might hear it on, and that's The Mitchells vs. the Machines. It was so good. Sony Animation dumping it to Netflix at the end of last year for this April release, the end of April, in a time when studios were still scared to put movies out. It was a breath of fresh air, man. It's easily the best movie of the first half of the year. Like the main character, man, Katie Mitchell, she's a movie nut. She's a movie fanatic. And she's trying to go to this school to learn more about film and chase her dream and all of this. And her dad, voiced by Danny McBride, had different plans. I really hope that everybody check this out, man. This got a Blu-ray. This got a Blu-ray going to Netflix within the same calendar year. I never thought this was gonna get a physical release. And the visuals and the humor and the heart, man, everything about this works. Yeah, one more time, man. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. All right, next up, we got my family in this. My literal brother. I told y'all Jake was my brother. I told y'all Jason was my brother. This is my brother too. Legacy, man. And Princess Nova, my niece is in here. Yeah, man. 2021. It's the end of the year. 5 to 1. What's your favorite movies this year?
Favorite movies this year, 5 to 1. Judas and the Black Messiah, Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, Halloween Kills, King Richard, Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right, man. Throughout the whole year, I don't think I've been telling everybody, but throughout the whole year, whether it's on your list, whether or not, it could be something you hated. Like, what movie do you want to talk about, why you loved it, why you hate it, put a little shine on it?
I could do the obvious, but I'm going to talk about Halloween Kills. I feel like that movie specifically don't get enough love for how dope it was and what the mission was that they were trying to, accomplish. This movie was an in-between movie. It wasn't meant to close a chapter. It was meant to be an in-between movie. And I thought it was really great. I think that a lot of the old Michael Myers type nostalgia that you're supposed to get, you got in this movie. So that was the one that I wanted to bring up, just talk about real quick.
For sure. I don't know if you've been. I don't know if you've been on like 2 or 3 episodes this year, man. But we gonna put a pin on this. I'm gonna move it to the next person. And Legacy, Merritt, however y'all know my dog, man, he definitely about to be on the most anticipated episode too. Next up, we got my guy, Hector. Like I've said plenty of times on this show, man, one of the coolest dudes on Instagram. Hit him up for them collectibles. Hit him up for movie knowledge and dope posts and stories and just a fun time on Instagram, man. So your 5 favorite movies of 2021, man. What you got?
Just number 1 is Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then Spider-Man: No Way Home, King Richard, The Suicide Squad, and then Dune.
All right, cool. That's a dope top 5. Which one of those you want to highlight? Show a little bit more love to.
I think clearly it's gonna be Zack Snyder's Justice League, just because of the major accomplishments and the story behind getting that whole movement going and to the fans. And then it delivered. It delivered. Not only did it deliver, but it still has everyone wanting for more.
Yeah, for sure. What he posted like a Batmobile or something with like some green little ambiance around it the other day, right? I saw that you shared that.
Yeah, man. I did. He's always like just playing head games, man. You don't know what it could mean. A lot of things, and most are saying that was just a homage to the Green Lantern scene that was supposed to be at the end of the movie, and some are saying that he's going to get the green light to continue his universe. So it could mean anything, but
yeah, man, I hope so. Like every fan wants him to finish his vision. Warner Brothers, man. So, yeah, I appreciate you jumping in with us. We're gonna turn around and bring you back for the most anticipated.
Okay.
I mean, next up we got my guy Rocket, man. He's been on quite a few episodes, especially over the past year, man. Y'all remember him. So, right quick, rapid fire, 5 to 1, and then pick one movie. It don't even necessarily have to be one of your top 5 that you want to highlight from the year to why you liked it or why it wasn't good. Whatever you want to say, man. Go ahead.
Got it. So I do have Free Guy at 5, West Side Story at 4, Dune at 3, and this was kind of tough, but I got Shang-Chi at 2, and that new Spider-Man No Way Home at number 1, because I honestly didn't think they would be able to do with so many characters in a movie, and they pulled it off.
Okay, cool. Is that the one you want to highlight?
That's the one I'm gonna highlight. Spider-Man No Way Home.
You want to elaborate a little more, or is that so?
Yeah, I mean, first off, with bringing back Joe Maguire and Andrew Garfield, you didn't know if it was gonna be like fan service where like they're in it for like 10 minutes, here we are, boom, it's done. But they had I think each had 30 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
So that's quite a bit. And the way they used those characters and pulled it off and incorporated it as part of the story, and it was I honestly thought it was going to be solid but okay. And then you had the technically the Sinister 5 villains, with Doc Ock and all them coming, but I like what they did with Jamie Foxx. They redeemed them in that sense, the way instead of from Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Willem Dafoe's Willem Dafoe. That guy was awesome. Same thing with Alfred Molina. But at the end of the day, with all these characters, I was just wanting to see how they can pull this off. And I kind of like how they used Doctor Strange as how they did Iron Man in the first in Homecoming. It was just sprinkled in here and there. But my whole concern was with Toby and Andrew, and like I said, the way it worked, it was comical, had heart, had emotion. There were some scenes where pulled at your heartstrings, you know, especially that the one with Andrew.
Most
When
definitely.
he saved MJ, that was the one. I was like, damn, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one. You know, like I said, Shang-Chi was right there too at the end. But like after I've seen this, you know, it digested it. I was like, nah, there's not. I mean, it's gonna hit 1 billion. I think it's gonna pass 1 billion by this weekend. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
All right, man. I appreciate you joining in, man. We'll turn it around and get you on the most anticipated episode. Next up, we got Melissa, one of the regular panels. So 2021 favorite movies from 5 to 1, rapid fire. What's your list?
Okay, 5 to 1. 5. Framing Britney Spears, which I've talked about already. A Quiet Place 2. King Richard. Old. And Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. That's my top 5.
All right, which one of those? I think I know what it might be. Which one of those do you want to expand upon? Why you liked it so much?
Okay, I think you're gonna be surprised. I want to talk about King Richard because I just saw it, and the other ones feel like a lifetime ago. Barb and Star, and definitely A Quiet Place 2 feel like 100 years ago.
Right.
With COVID and everything. So I was like, what can I talk about? The only thing I think I can talk about is King Richard, just because I just saw it. So what would you like me to talk about? Like, why?
Yeah, why you liked it so much? Like, what about it was good enough to make your top 5?
Yeah. So I saw it, and you know, the runtime's very long, and I was like, and with a biopic.
All right, before the Anchor app decided to crash, you were talking about why you liked King Richard, why it made your top 5.
Yeah. So you know, I wasn't sure what I was gonna think about it. I don't know anything about tennis really. Like, the extent of my knowledge is like that movie Wimbledon from 2004.
Yeah.
I really don't watch tennis. So, you know, it's a biopic. You kind of think like, oh, I know what I'm getting into with a biopic. It's a very long. I think it's more than 2 hours, right? So I was like, oh, well, let's see. You know, I tried so many movies, I told you, and so many I just gave up on or I didn't love. But this one, I started it and I was like, oh, this is a good movie, good story, good writing, good acting, good cast. Like, that's what I would say about King Richard. It's a good movie. It's just a good movie.
All the way around.
And yeah, really. The music, I mean, even like the 80s, 90s soundtrack, of course I love that. I'm kind of similar age to Serena and Venus, maybe a little younger, but we grew up with the same type of music. But the story is so good of Richard Williams, and a story about facing adversity and what he went through and how he planned for his children. And there were some comments when this movie was first announced, like comments online, like, why would it be a movie about Richard and not a movie about Serena and Venus? But this movie really answers why.
Exactly.
And I don't want to say too much. You know, I don't love spoiling everything, and everyone knows the story basically, but I love the way the movie answered that without even knowing that was going to be a criticism, or maybe they knew. But the movie really answers that question. You won't have that question if you watch this movie. And it was one of those movies where I immediately told everyone in my family, you have to watch this, you're going to like this. Like, and that's when I know I really like something. And I cried a lot. If people like to cry at movies, I don't cry much at movies. This one, I cried a lot. And I just want to shout out, I know Will Smith is getting accolades, which is fantastic. I mean, I always like him. It's not a surprise for me. But the girl who played Venus Williams absolutely broke my heart. Sanaya Sidney. And I thought she was just fantastic and so cute. And yeah, she really broke my heart. Anjanou Ellis, who played the Williams sisters' mother, Oracene, also was fantastic, and she's getting accolades too, which is great. Really, the whole cast was good front to back. I don't think I even have complaints about this movie. So I really liked it. My only maybe thing, which is not even a complaint, is at the end, you know,
to buy, you kind of get your epilogue and
Yeah.
Serena and Venus, blah 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 blah. I would actually prefer. I want to see the sequel. I want to see what happens next because it's not the whole story. I want to see it because I don't know enough about Serena and Venus's career to be satisfied. I would like to know. Give me part 2. Give me part 3. I'll watch it. Keep going. So that's the only thing. Like, I don't know if they do another movie. Biopics never have sequels, but I'd totally be down to watch it. That's how much I liked it. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to that movie and that cast for sure.
Cool. We're gonna move on to the next person. I'll bring you back. Do the most anticipated episode. Hey man, next up, he might be last. I don't think he last. He might be last, but y'all know my dog, E-Sig. Before we get into favorites of the year, I need y'all to hit good pods, whatever your podcasting of wherever you get your podcast from, because I don't remember where I was going with that. Listen to that Sigma Cinema podcast, that Batman Returns episode. Why that shit is in fact a Christmas movie, because that shit was fire. Yeah, man. 5-1, rapid fire your 5 favorite movies of the year, and then pick one of them to expand upon why you liked it so much.
That's easy enough. So here we go, 5, and one of them. Sorry to do this to you. Number 5 is a documentary. So
hey, man.
So number 5 is Bow, which is pretty awesome. Number 4 is wait a minute. Randy, who was your best friend?
Hey, that's in my top 10.
King Richard. Going, that's number 4 at the moment. Number 3, Don't Look Up. And number 2. Number 2. Number 2 and 1 superhero movies. 2, No Way Home, Spider-Man. 1 is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
All right. Which one of those do you want to highlight as to why it was so good?
Yeah, and I'm not even going to roll with number 1. I'm going to roll with the most recent one, number 2. Spider-Man No Way Home. I was having a conversation about this. What I was using the Star Wars sequel trilogy as an example to this trilogy, the Spider-Man trilogy within the MCU, is how to do fan service without seeming fan servicey.
Yeah.
Doing it and also pushing the story forward, not seeming look at me when you're doing it, because they checked almost every box that we wanted to see in this Spider-Man movie, and even with the most worst kept secret.
Oh man, yeah, no question.
And by now, come on, spoiler, we know we should that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's in the movie as their respective Peter Parker Spider-Man. And even without them, that's right, that's my favorite stuff. But even without that, the movie is obviously the strongest of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And one of the best of the MCU movies, period. It just ticks every box, and I know a lot of people are upset how the movie ended and whatever, but that speaks to its strength. It's supposed to be a downer of an ending. This is what Spider-Man. Yeah. People kill me. Oh, I've read Spider-Man comic books, and you should know Spider-Man has always been down on this.
You must have always had them sunshine and rainbow Spider-Man comic books, man. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, bro. Like, I don't mean to jump in on your shit, on your tangent, whatever we talking, but it's like Peter Parker in his whole existence has never been allowed to be happy for an extended period of time, ever.
And
like Tobey Maguire, don't I deserve to be happy? No, bro.
Yes.
You were not written
exactly.
that way.
No, that's perfect. I'm glad you put that in there. And we finally got the famous quote with, great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. And a fantastic scene without giving too much away. But, and I'm the last thing on this one, I'm going out and say, I would hope this will be the second comic book movie of all time. It deserves to be for Best Picture. A lot of people will look at me like I'm nuts. But I think because there's still a problem with that. With we get little flashes with the voters not having to stick up their butt with Mad Max Fury Road and Black Panther getting Best Pictures and movies like that. And why not this one? This one is a extreme Hail Mary. I'm thinking Willem Dafoe as supporting actor.
I wouldn't hate it.
You know what I mean? He's just to step back into those shoes, and I think to give even
almost 20 years later.
Yeah, and I like this movie does with the contrast of the personalities between the two, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, and
it kind of hit it better than Sam Raimi did.
Yeah, that's crazy, and you can't get mad at saying that. And Willem Dafoe, he's got to be in his mid to late 60s, and
I think he's 66.
66, and one of his stipulations was to do most of his stunts, which you can easily see outside of the CG shots that he's really there, But yeah, that's it with that. They trying to ramble too much, but yeah, that's for easy for sure.
All right, bro.
5-star movie.
Yeah, that's what's up. You already know I'm gonna bring you back for the most anticipated. You are last as far as how I'm gonna arrange these. So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna spit these bars. Yo, they wanna say they got your back, but they themselves don't got no backbone. Trying to criticize my flow cause you got caught up in the splash zone. In each cipher, I find ways to remind y'all I'm an East Sider. You apples, I'm oranges. You fruity motherfuckers taste this sweet cider. Stuck in the orphanage cause your own fucking parents disowned you. Copycat ass parrots just mad cause I owned you when you rolled through. Stuck inside the phone booth, falling way too short to be Superman. Kryptonite, bitch, I'm nice. Y'all lifetime goals is waking up and doing what only a Hoosier can. I earn, man, I'm Robert Downey stunting. You skip out on a debt, then I'm bounty hunting. Raindrops keep falling on my head looking ass. Drive is electric, I'm that car that you couldn't gas. Class you couldn't pass, me teaching, you a piss poor student. Every time I hit the toilet, they looking forward to my new shit. Complexion the color of Cool Whip. I'm that problem that they don't know what to do with. And chill until the next episode.